Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, out-of-home enthusiasts. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the myths and misconceptions that are out there with regards to programmatic digital out-of-home. It's a relatively new space. There's still a lot of education required, and there is quite a bit of misinformation out there that you need to be aware of. So what we'll do today is tackle some of those biggest myths to ensure that you're across them all. The first one that I want to start off with is the idea that programmatic digital out-of-home and online programmatic are the same thing. They're both two very different concepts. There's this idea out there that online programmatic and digital out-of-home programmatic are the same thing, which is completely untrue. They're both completely different mediums with different affordances, and those differences need to be taken into account when you're planning, buying, or evaluating your campaigns. Beyond the fact that one exists in the physical world and one exists in the digital world, there are a number of major differences between digital out-of-home and online. One of the benefits of programmatic digital out-of-home is that it does enable a medium that was once planned in a very siloed fashion to now be bought as part of larger multimedia or omni-channel campaigns. But it is important that buyers remember when they are buying that out-of-home plays a very distinct and unique role within the media mix. One of the common misconceptions regarding programmatic digital out-of-home is this idea that it's a race to the bottom. It's a term that you may have heard before, and it's often applied to the programmatic online space, and often unfairly so. But it is the idea that in the online world, there's this endless race where sites are all vying for clicks, and there's essentially more inventory than there is demand, and as a result, that drives prices down. One of the main reasons why programmatic digital out-of-home isn't a race to the bottom and won't be a race to the bottom is the fact that digital out-of-home inventory is far less ubiquitous than online inventory. There's a more finite amount of inventory out there. What Broadsign's belief is that every impression is a premium impression to someone, and as the supply-side platform, it's our job to find that someone. By bringing more demand partners to the online auction, if you think of us as the auction house and the demand side platforms as potential buyers at the auction, we increase the demand for your inventory, which in turn increases yields. The other thing to be mindful of as well is from a publisher's perspective, within the supply side platform, they're able to control everything from the floor price that they set in terms of a CPM to the creatives that run across their screens. One of the most common misconceptions regarding programmatic digital out-of-home, and I hear this one all the time, it's the idea that it's just a way of selling your remnant inventory. Firstly, I can't stand the term remnant inventory. I prefer the label inventory which just hasn't been sold yet, which is what it is. And secondly, when it's used properly, programmatic can be a really effective tool for generating a premium across your inventory, often above the premium that you would see on direct sales. To give you an example, let's say you have an advertiser who is a manufacturer of luxury German automotives. They're running a campaign whereby they want to reach, high net worth individuals towards the end of the working week as they're leaving the office once they've received their bonus checks. It's a pretty targeted campaign in terms of specific locations, specific people, specific conditions. So those impressions are extremely valuable impressions to the automotive manufacturer. And as a result, they should be paying a premium for those impressions. So not only can programmatic be used as a way to sell inventory that hasn't been sold directly, it can actually be used as a way to generate a premium on your direct campaigns. Programmatic is not the death of the sales team. This idea that as a publisher, you connect to the programmatic pipes and the money just starts flowing through is simply not true. Programmatic is simply just another way of selling. It's complementary to your direct selling efforts. The question we're often asked by publishers is, how much money can I make from programmatic? And the answer is always the same. It's how good is your sales team? And the publishers that have embraced the programmatic opportunity are those who've brought people with programmatic knowledge, programmatic experience, and programmatic relationships into their businesses. In some cases, we've even seen publishers creating entirely separate sales teams or sales divisions for programmatic. The final thing that we need to be mindful of, and I suppose the final misconception that we need to blow out of the water, is this idea that programmatic digital out of home is perfect. It's not. It never will be, although it continues to improve year after year. Besides the need for much greater education in the space, and that's why we do these programmatic digital out of home university pieces, there's a lot of progress that needs to be made in terms of building on the standardization and reliability of measurement that exists, amongst other things as well. But as an industry, if we can continue to work together to push one another to adopting better approaches, then it's a good outcome for everyone involved. As our GM of Programmatic, Adam Green, who's featured on the Programmatic Digital Out of Home University series before, likes to say, we can't give you 20/20 vision, but we can give you better glasses, and the prescription is going to be getting better year after year after year.